Golf courses. Could the land and resources that go to maintain your average golf course within the 49 square miles and a little bit south be put to better use? It's been a fight all summer long among those who foot the bill for that land and those resources. Quake Sebastian Kunz put on his checkered golf pants. They're a pastel, sort of, very summery, very appropriate, flat panel, no pleats, of course, and he joins us live from the newsroom with our top story spotlight. cBas, go.
John, thanks. The pitching wedges have not yet been brought out as weapons in this story, but there are golf enthusiasts who are very unhappy that their hobby, that uses tons of resources, amounts to a minority of the actual recreational users in San Francisco. Of course, it all depends on what you mean by better use. If what we mean is many more people would get to use Facility X, if it were a soccer field or hiking trails rather than a golf course, maybe that makes it a better use.
This is really out of balance, and that's all we've been saying to the city. Please look at this. Please have a professional do an analysis of what it would cost and what the possible benefits might be economically even to have other uses on the golf land so that it's economic for the city, it's fair for all the residents.
That's Dr. Isabel Wade, the executive director of the San Francisco Neighborhood Parks Council. She told me today it was only a couple of years ago a study was commissioned, and those for whom golfing is a full-on lifestyle, they didn't like the survey results.
And in the survey that they did, they found that golf was only 15 out of 17 priorities in this city. And number one, for example, was hiking trails. And so there's really an imbalance of how we allocate land and what the recreation priorities are of our city residents.
Recreation priority. That was a new term for me, but it's not a hard concept. How many people golf? How many people hike? So far, the majority isn't ruling in this case.
Soccer is a big one. I mean, there are 11,000 registered soccer players. That doesn't even include the kids' leagues. And this particular recreation has 25 acres of parkland in San Francisco versus over 700 acres of public land devoted to golf.
Got that? Soccer with 25 acres of land devoted to it. Golf has over 700 public acres, and there are more soccer players in the area. I did try to get the other side of this story. I put in some calls at places like Sharp Park in San Bruno. No one there had much to say via telephone when I called, and the emails I sent to Sharp Park's golf club officers, well, they went unanswered. But John, to be fair, some golf advocates have been showing up in the media. In fact, the golfers marched on City Hall today in a protest geared toward the Board of Supervisors. They've said it amounts to stealing from one group to benefit another. However, Dr. Wade made an additional point. She says the golfers use a notable approach to their particular problem.
Oh, we've heard lots from the golfers, and of course the reason there's such a strong lobby over these years to keep the golf land as golf courses is regardless of cost. You know, golfers go to all the hearings. Many of them are retired. They can afford to go there and sit in the middle of the day for 2 or 3 hours at a hearing, just like last week, whereas most soccer people and the rest of us are all working during the day.
Now, a reading of the proposed legislation had been slated for today, but the measure won't go before the San Francisco Board of Supervisors till next month because, ironically, the Supes are in recess. Maybe some of them perhaps... John?
Are you playing Tiger Woods on PlayStation?
Indeed, no. But the internet's full of golf sound effects. You wouldn't know.
Well, I hike and I play golf, so I'm on both sides. There are 7, I believe, municipal golf courses within San Francisco. It includes the Olympic Club, which is technically a public course, but really isn't, and then Sharp Park down in San Bruno. The folks in the pro shop there have varying opinions. They're thinking about maybe carving half of Lincoln Park out, making it only a 9-hole course and using the rest for soccer fields and whatnot. But it will continue. Thank you, cBas. Appreciate it.
Yep.